lovely gnomies, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova Gnome. I'm so happy to see you today, and I hope that you and your families are taking care of the best that you can, and that you are having a good week. We've almost made it through the week. It's Thursday, so we've made it past the hump of the week, and we are coasting down into the weekend. Today is Thursday, and if you are new here and you don't know what Thursdays are, it is our Luck of the Draw day. And just a quick little snippet to tell you what Luck of the Draw is in case you don't know. Every Thursday I come on here and I show you guys my Scrumble that I did for the week. Now, Luck of the Draw is actually a big thing going on amongst a lot of YouTube channels. It is hosted by a channel called Nan's Next Knots. She's the one who came up with it, and this is actually her 7th time hosting it. Basically what it is every week she draws a number out of a hat, and you have little things correlated to those numbers. So there are numbers 1 through 8 plus your main color, and you can pick what yarns to assign to them, what colors to assign to them, whatever you really want. It could be a certain stitch. It's just literally whatever you want it to be. There is a Luck of the Draw blanket though, if you would prefer to just not have to think about it very much at all. And you could just follow the pattern for the blanket and all that kind of stuff you could find out about on Nan's Next Knots. And I will link her down in the description box below. But what I chose to do for this, my first time doing Luck of the Draw, is to make crochet scrumbles, which are Freeform Crochet. Scrumbles are the name for the little individual pieces that you make for Freeform Crochet that you're going to connect together and make into a larger piece. So I had been interested in Freeform Crochet and really wanted to dabble into it and play around with it. And I thought this was the perfect opportunity because it would give me a theme for my scrumble every week. I picked colors to assign to each number. So every week I get a color that I'm theming my scrumble, but that's the only thing that I am regimenting for this. So I didn't pick specific yarns. I'm not limited to one yarn. I just have a color. So if the color is purple, I will use shades of purple. I can use any weights. I can use any textures. I can use any stitches. It's a free-for-all. Freeform crochet, there's no rules to it. You just kind of do whatever that jumps out of your hook and into your yarn. So that's what I have been doing for my Luck of the Draw. And if you are interested in seeing what the scrumbles have looked like so far, this is our week 11. So this is the 11th scrumble I've made. The other 10 videos for the past weeks will actually be in a playlist that I link in the description for this video. So you can actually see all of them if you'd like to. And last week I even started to connect some together and have that in my video for last week if you wanted to see what that process looks like. And you can connect them together any way you want to, just the same as making scrumbles. There are no rules for how you put them together. And in the end, I am planning on this being a shawl made up of all the little Freeform crochet pieces that I make. So now that you know what Luck of the Draw is, are you guys ready to see this week's scrumble? Well, this week's scrumble was green, and this is what I made. Now, don't mind that there are some tails that need woven in still, but here is what I made, and I went really freeform crochet with it. I'm trying to not come up with a plan while I'm working on it, because I have this tendency that my brain wants to see things in what I'm making and then kind of start going that way with it. At one point it looked like a fish to me, and I was almost wanting to start turning it into a fish, and I'm no, I can see the things in it, but I just want to keep going with the flow and just doing whatever and not trying to make it into something. It is fun though. It is really fun to look for things in the crochet. Right now when I'm looking at this, I kind of think it looks like a turtle. At one point during the construction of it, it looked like another UFO. You guys know how one of my scrumbles several weeks ago looked like a UFO. At one point, this looked like a UFO before I got further into the process. So I just have a ton going on here, and I will try to explain to you guys what I did. So I started off in the middle, and I did a chain, connected it back to itself, and did double crochets with chains in between them. And then I did granny clusters with chains in between them. And then I think these might have been half double crochets, and then I did like chaining. It's so hard to remember what I did. I didn't take pictures of the process or anything this time because I really wanted to just immerse myself into it and not be trying to like document what I did or remember what I did or take pictures along the way. I just like went for it. So I've got like, I'll just kind of show you what I've got going on. I've got spike stitches. I did like a few rows of spike stitches in these areas right here, right here. Make sure that's focused for you guys. There you go. This was all chains, and what I did was I chained and slip stitched over and over and over and over all the way around, and then I actually came back and worked into the stitch. I went back in behind the stitch and worked this round. So did I slip stitch into just the front loops, or how did I do that? Can I tell? Let's see. There's so much going on here. It's hard to remember. I think I might have slip stitched into the front loop onlys when I did this, and then I went back and picked up the back loop onlys and did double crochets. And yeah, so that's how I did that part, and I love the effect that it gave right here. It's just like so like ruffly and like, I don't know, fun looking. And yeah, so this is what it's looking like. I don't really know what to say. There's some spike stitches right here, spiked down for several rows. It just really went crazy with it and just kind of did whatever I wanted. And I did pull this out because I really liked hanging my scrumble on it last week. And it's going to be hanging sideways. But I liked hanging my scrumble on it last week so you guys could still see my scrumble without me holding it up the whole time. So there you go. That's what it looks like from this angle. Kind of makes me think of like a pear, like an upside down pear. So you guys are going to have to let me know what you think of this scrumble. I'm really proud of this one. I think this might be the most creative one that I've done. I used 3 different types of yarn. I used Red Heart with Love. I think it's lime. It's metallic yarn. I used just some spring green, I think. I think this was spring green. It was one that doesn't have a ball band. And I used some of this, which does not have much in it at all because I'm using it for a different project. But this cotton blend ice cream yarn, Lion Brand ice cream yarn that is discontinued in the shade of lime. And it kind of looks like this. But I color controlled it because there was actually quite a bit of blue. I'm trying to remember where I put the blue that I color controlled out. I don't know if it's on the desk still or not. So when I did, there is some green here too, but this was a lot of blue. I don't know if you can tell, but there's this beautiful blue. I absolutely love it. Like, it's probably my favorite color in the lime cake, lime skein. Focus this for you guys. There you go. But there's this really pretty blue in here, but it was quite a long chunk of blue. And since the whole idea of my themes is that I have a color for the week, I didn't want to put blue in it. I felt like that would, the only prompt I have that I'm sticking to is my colors. So I'm trying to be, you know, pretty dedicated to sticking with the colors, I guess, because otherwise I'm not actually theming my scrumbles at all for luck of the draw. The whole point of luck of the draw is to have that, like, you know, prompt with your number. So I color controlled out the blue, and that was just personal preference. Of course, I could have just left it in, but I love it so much. I love how it looks hanging there. It's so cool to look at. But yeah, you guys will have to let me know what you think. But yeah, with Freeform Crochet, you can just like do your own thing entirely and like just do whatever stitches you want, whatever pattern you want, like expand on certain pieces and not expand on certain pieces and all that. And I really want to really embrace that and play around with that and, you know, not make it like patterned. So like when I start them out, I always start out with like a spiral typically. Not always, there's a few that I haven't. I always start out with a circle, like a magic circle or a, you know, chaining circle and making it, you know, from a circle, working in the round, but I don't want them to just be round. So I wanted to really play with shapes and designs. And like, you know, we've got gaps here and we've got like a lot of spike stitch sections. And I think they're just really interesting looking. I think this is probably my favorite just because of this being like really what freeform crochet is to me. Like just super like whatever, like lots of different stitches, lots of different texture. And that's what I was aiming for, was different texture and different stitches and stuff like that in my shawl that I'm making. So I've got single crochets, half double crochets, double crochets, slip stitches. There's a couple of treble crochets in here and spike stitches. And then also I did do some like little granny clusters, which are still just double crochets. But feel free to leave in the comments if you have any ideas for things that you think would be cool to incorporate into these, like maybe specific stitches and things like that. I'm really wanting to get creative with it and incorporate like as much, you know, variety as I can and let it just be a very creative endeavor. So I think that incorporating some different types of stitches and stitch patterns would be pretty cool to do. But that is this week's Scrumble. So I hope you guys like it. If you want to join in, there is still time to join in. This week is the 12th week for her, I believe, because I am 1 week behind when I make my videos, because today I'll find out what the color is for this next Scrumble. So I'll work on it. And then on Thursday, I'll show you guys my next Scrumble, and then I'll find out that day what the new color is. So mine are always 1 week behind. But there are still, if it's week 12 for her, there are still 8 more weeks, because I just found out the other day that it goes for 20 weeks. So if you want to join in and catch up, you still have plenty of time to do that. Or if you want to join in and just join in where we are, you still have time to do that also. So I have that linked in the description, but no pressure to join in, just letting you know the info in case you're interested. But yeah, so here is my Scrumble. I'm going to work on connecting more together and getting the plans for the shawl really going. I want to make sure that I have enough Scrumbles to fill out the shawl, because finding out, okay, there's 20 weeks. I need to make sure that I'm making my Scrumbles large enough to fill out a whole shawl with 20 of them, because it would suck if I got to the end of my luck of the draw thing and I didn't have enough Scrumbles. Of course, I could continue to just make Scrumbles, but I really kind of wanted it to go following along and having the finished project at the end of luck of the draw. So if I need to start making bigger Scrumbles, then that will be good to know. And I did make this one a little bit bigger with that thought process in mind. So I really need to find a sheet or something that I can use to cut out the shape of the shawl, like a general shape, and start laying out my Scrumbles and getting an idea of how much of the shawl they're taking up, and working on connecting them. Also, when I connect them together, I can add in, you know, more connecting areas too, and that can make it take up more space. It'll just depend on the way that I want to connect them together. So that's what I'm looking like. Don't forget, tomorrow is Community Spotlight. So if you are interested in sending in your makes for Community Spotlight, my email is in the description box below, like always. But it is novagnomecreations@gmail.com. And you are more than welcome to send me an email with pictures that you would like me to include in Community Spotlight. And also, I just ask that you title in the subject line your email Community Spotlight, and put somewhere in your email what name you would like me to credit you with when I put you in my video for Friday. And just a little reminder that the last Saturday of the month is going to be Gnome of the Month. And we are going to be celebrating our little Mario gnome tutorial, and that's a tutorial series. So that will be all up in the coming days. I'm aiming to hopefully get it done ASAP and just start getting those up. But it'll definitely be up next week. But you are welcome to send in any gnomes that you make this month. So it's the same email, and just put Gnome of the Month as the subject line. Make sure you let me know what name you'd like me to use. There's no limit. You can send in as many gnomes as you want to. So if you made like 5 gnomes, send in your 5 gnomes. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And if you have to send more than one email because of the like limit of pictures, because I think you can only put like 5 pictures or something, then that is totally fine. I have no problem with that. we love to see these like gnomie awesomeness parades that we do on our last Saturdays of the month. So seriously, get involved if you want to get involved. Send in as many as you want, and don't feel like yours isn't good enough to share, because I promise you that it is. If you made it, it's good enough to share, and we will all hype you up, and you can have some like-minded individuals who are excited for what you've made, people who get it. You know, you might show it to other people in your life and they're like, ah, cool, you know. No, we're like, oh my gosh, you are so amazing. That is so amazing. Like, make sure you guys show it to, send it to me so I can show it to everybody, and get you a little bit of praise. Anyway, guys, I will see you later. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that you are doing well, and I hope your families are doing well. Love you guys, and I'll see you later.